Alright, welcome back for the second half of the games. Let's hop into another queue and play 3 more games with Obelisk Combrei. So far it went fairly well. We went 2-1, lost one fairly close game in the mirror where we also kind of made a mistake, potentially. In the end we saw that no matter how we would have done it, we would have lost, but it would have definitely been better to at least try to win if he doesn't have a finest hour. Not sure though, I mean, I guess you gotta give your opponent credit. If he attacks the way he did, he probably does so because he's not gonna just die if I chose not to block. Then again, it could also be a desperation move against my active Seraph. Well, he doesn't have an answer, trying to end the game before Seraph got me so much advantage that he can't win anymore. Got a pretty good opening hand, gonna keep that. And see what we're up against. Alright, just tap banner, depleted banner, sorry. And then we'll just try and curve out. Preferably it would be nice to get like a nice target for our Marshal. If we don't, not sure if I'm gonna play it, depending on what he is playing. Depends. Our opponent is playing fairly slow. But yeah, the hand's pretty good. We can curve Seraph into Titan, that's pretty powerful. And it looks like we are up against Big Combrei. So against Big Combrei, I'm definitely not gonna waste Desert Marshal. And now that we draw Temple Scribe, we even have something else to do. So that's nice. And I think against Big Combrei, I'm also not gonna play Seraph on 3. Instead, I'm gonna play Acolyte to not give him too much value from his harsh rule, while we have no way of defending ourselves against it. Now that we actually drew a stand together, I think I want to just apply as much pressure as possible before his late game kicks in, and stand together his harsh rule. So we just blow him out if he tries to defend against our curve. The fact that he is on the play makes it a bit more awkward, but I think given that our hand has enough power here, I am inclined to just Titan here. And I don't think I want to attack. Although, maybe I want, I'll just try it. There's an argument to be made for not attacking because of a potential double block, forcing us to stand together, which I don't really want to here because it's kind of marginal value, so I think I'll just let it slide and kill the Enforcer, then play a Titan. It is potentially better here to just not attack, because it's very likely that he does that double block. And then we have 3 units. It gets really difficult for the opponent to, basically get rid of our board because we have stand together protection. But yeah, I decided to see if he's willing to double block or not, and he was. I don't think I want to play a second Titan here, I'd rather just play this guy so we have more power soon, and potentially can drop like a second Titan with a stand together backup on 7. Or something else that we draw on 6 plus stand together backup. Well, if he harsh rules a Titan plus a basically free Amber Acolyte, that's fine. We get to recover and protect with stand together against the next harsh rule, hopefully. If he harsh rolls here again, that's pretty good for him, but we still are not out of gas yet. And if he doesn't, it's only gonna go downhill from here for him. That is basically perfect, I would say. Just want to attack like this. See what he does. That is quite the greedy attack. Quite the greedy block. But I'll take it. Kill the Seraph. And then play a second Titan. The alternative would have been to just silence the Seraph, only attack with the Titan, pass, and then get to a double Titan Desert Marshal would stand together. And our opponent is down to one card, and we have a silence for a Seraph because we got to kill his other Seraph in combat. Alright. Gonna silence it with the Enforcer. So we can even end of turn Desert Marshal to threaten lethal depending on what he does. And he just scoops. Sometimes you just get in situations where you don't even need stand together against harsh rule because they have to aggressively harsh rule for marginal value. Then it's fine. But it's good to have the option to protect like a big board of 3+ units. And as you could also see, it's a decent combat trick that makes blocking for the opponent more awkward. Gonna keep this pretty solid hand. Bit power heavy, but we have Seraph and acceleration into Seraph and Enforcer is pretty good. Especially on the play. Alright. Drop Seraph, attack for 1. Curious what he's gonna be. Primal should mean either Shimmer Pack or Feln-based control on turn 1. More likely Feln-based control than Shimmer Pack, because Shimmer Pack is heavy time and usually doesn't play Primal on turn 1. Alright, so let's see. That's pretty weird, double Primal. Seems like it might be some random deck. We'll find out soon enough. Gonna ramp some more and probably hold back the Enforcer. Although I'm not sure, maybe I should have just dropped the Enforcer for pressure there. Especially if we assume he might be Feln and has removal there, and he doesn't have a million silence targets, because now I have to play it anyway. Should have done that last turn. That was a bit loose. To attack for 3, play Titan, and pass. Gonna hold off on the silence until he threatens to ultimate. Down goes our Titan, which at least means our Enforcer can attack again. And another Titan. So, Titan and pass. Also good to see that he didn't have a witch to prepare a sweeper in that spot. That is unfortunate, but alright. Got some more power. That's the other thing, like you cannot count on the initiates long term. They are like nice acceleration, but eventually they might die or get silenced, and then it's good to have enough actual power to still get to 8 for all the things that I talked about in the deck. Yep. And only attack with Titan. Maybe I should have silenced the Bloodcaster here, because now he can potentially just set it up, but then again it would be pretty bad tempo-wise for him to ultimate here, And if we keep Desert Marshal, we can do this. Which is pretty important right now because he is fairly low and doesn't have that many cards left, and the last thing we want him is to race us and gain back life and pressure us. If he just deals us damage, that's fine, we don't care. Where's Obelisk when you need it? That's annoying. Student's not gonna be good enough right now. Yeah, this game is slipping away from us. I mean, if he draws that many units, then we're just gonna lose. This game's over. So we are 3-2. One more game. See how it's going. Get through these quest chests. And let's see if we can pull the 4-2. And yeah, if you see these games, you can see why I'm not 100% sure on to find the way yet, because sometimes the deck draws a tad too much power, maybe something like 29 power and another stand together or something like that. It's better maybe like a third monument and a stand together in place of the two find a way, for example. Not quite sure yet. This is another really great draw. Student into Seraph. Some backup stuff. That's great. There goes our student. Looks like we are up against, I was about to say Falnscar, but it's Icaria Blue instead. So we just drop a Seraph, and because Icaria Blue actually doesn't have a lot of good ways to deal with the Seraph. You can silence it, but then it's still a 3-4. Maybe he has Auric Runehammer. That would be like his best answer. If he permafrosted, it's fine. I don't care too much. Alright, so I'm gonna drop this and set up a Temple Scribe plus stand together next turn, and potentially a second Seraph stand together on turn 6. If he harsh rolls these two guys, it's fine. If he doesn't, he probably will never get a good harsh roll in the entire game. Plus, stand together also kind of counters Auric Runehammer on a Seraph. Double Lightning Storm or Lightning Storm Torch? No, Lightning Storm for half a card. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy about that. And yeah, here I think we cannot afford to play our second Seraph, because if he then just harsh rolls us, we lose the game. So I'd rather just wait. And I'm also not gonna stand together here to counter the silence, I think. I'm not sure. Let me think. Yeah, I think it's fine to let it slide, because we still get to have a Seraph with Aegis protection, but get more value out of the stand together, more stats, and more units protected from harsh roll. And we only need one active Seraph anyway. And if he doesn't force us to stand together now, we even get to stand together our Initiative Descents to protect our 8 power for Seraph, which is nice. Staff, alright. I think I want to attack with Scribe here just to kill the staff. And now we just stand together to kill the staff and protect our board. So we safely can start using Seraph next turn. So that's kind of perfect. It's gonna be hard for him to recover from this. That is a good way to set up Harsh Roll, or get rid of our Seraph, I guess. Gonna attack here for 8. And the question is, do I want to play something else? I think I don't want to, because we have a pretty threatening board, and if he has Harsh Roll, that's gonna be pretty bad for us, so I think I'll just pass. So if he Harsh Rolls, we can just Student into Reinhardt. Just exactly the 7 power we're gonna have after our initiate dies. There's the Harsh Roll, as I expected. And now recovering with a lethal bolt is great. If he has a second Harsh Roll, that's gonna eat it, and then we can drop another Seraph, hoping that he doesn't have a Silence or Permafrost. And we can get to town, go to town with Seraph. While he is working hard to not die. There's Seraph. I'm not gonna show him the 8's power so he doesn't completely go out of his way to get rid of it. Wow, that's great. Time to draw a Great Parliament. That's not Great Parliament. I mean, we still have some time to draw Great Parliament, but not that much, because that 4 power Daisho is gonna deal 8 a turn. So I would really like to draw something next turn. Obelisk was not what I had in mind. Yeah. But yeah, the way these games went, I'm probably gonna cut it to find a way for a Monument and some other card. Probably a Carnosaur or a Stand Together. And now we die. Because yeah, if this is a Monument or a Carnosaur, then this game looks a lot different. Alright, only went 3 and 3. To be fair, I think Obelisk Combrei is only a tier 2 deck, as I mentioned. It has its issues. It has a very linear strategy. It doesn't have the go over the top power of Shimmerpack. It plays very fair. Its strength is basically only that all its cards are, like most of its cards are good early game and good late game. So they all do good stuff for their cost in the early game and do more stuff if you have more power later on, like Seraph, Great Parliament, Obelisk, Awakened Student. All these cards are good for their cost at the time you play them and get better the longer the game goes. So that's basically the early game, late game flexibility that Combrei has going for it. But other than that, it's mostly just a bunch of good dudes that you drop and hope that they eventually overwhelm the opponent. And that strategy is kind of susceptible and exploitable to various things that other people do. Alright, I hope you still enjoyed this and or even learned something from it. If you found it helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on social media for more frequent updates. Thanks for watching, see you next time guys, bye!